I was looking through the Playboys, and I saw an advertisement for Ultimate Fighting. I don't know what. It was one with the tooth fell out.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had, I was living with 2 other guys, pirated cable. He climbed up the telephone pole type thing. And so I invited my dad over. And I said, hey, man, you got to check this Ultimate Fighting. I don't know if it's real or not. I suspect it's not. I think it's probably just a offshoot of professional wrestling. He said, oh, okay, I'll come over. So he came over, and we're sitting there, drinking beers, watching the tube. And he came out with that grass skirt type thing. And I'm like, oh, see. And then I don't know who it was. Gerard Perdot or whatever.
Yeah, Gerard Perdot.
Yeah, and he kicked him in the face, and his tooth went flying. I go, oh, yes, this is real.
It's real.
Yeah, I can't believe it, man. This is going to be so awesome.
So how did you contact them? Like, how do you wind up getting in?
Well, I was in jail for beating up this
cop's son.
Right, and I got work release from that. From probation, I did like 3 weeks in jail in an honor farm, and then I went to like a probation apartment thing, went to work and came back. And that's when my friend who worked for his dad at the medical clothing company goes, hey, you know that guy Chemo that works at the bar? And I'm like, He goes, you got to know him. He wears like that jean thing, and I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you know Joe-san? I knew Joe-san from the boxing gym. He goes, they fought in that show. And I'm like, well, yeah. I go, why is that guy fighting in that show? Because he would always, I had quite the reputation back in those days. He would come find me in the line and go, Mr. Abbott, sir, this way, and cut me in front of everybody and walk me in.
Is this Joe-san?
No, that was Chemo.
This is Chemo.
And I was, hey, thanks, Chemo. And that's as much as I knew of him. Like when he was telling me, you know that guy? And I'm like, Anyway, so it was Chemo. And he goes, this guy, Chemo, if that guy's in it, why can't you be in it? And that's when I was saying, make it happen. And he started calling Art Davey on the phone. And Art's like, yeah. And then he goes, no, you don't understand. This guy is the real deal from the streets, man. Everybody knows who he is. And he's like, yeah, we hear this story all the time. And he's all, not from this guy. And then it was back in the day when he had like a table like this with the phone and a speakerphone on it. And so he goes, tell that guy, because I was sitting in the back. He goes, tell him I got some guy that's like 6'8", 300 pounds that wants to fight him. And we'll see you next week at this time. It was raining. So we ended up going to Art Davies' office in Torrance, right around the corner, I heard, from the Gracie Academy, I guess they call it. And so it was raining, and I had it was back in the days when they had brown paper bags for grocery bags. So I put my high top basketball shoes in there and like stretchy clothes that you would wear. I had it all folded up, and I walked in, sitting here like we are now. He's talking, and he's like, okay. And this is before they came up with the Tank idea. And I said, no, I'm a wrestler. And so he goes, okay, well, we'll be getting back to you. And he goes, oh, by the way, what's in that bag? And I said, well, you said you had somebody that was like 6'8", 300 pounds that we wanted to fight. And he goes, what? I go, yeah, on the phone, you said that. And he goes, you'd fight somebody? And I goes, yeah, I don't go to jail. And he goes, you're crazy. What? You're just crazy, man. And I'm like, no, I'm down for fighting any time you want to do it. And he's like, oh, he just shook his head.